Test, test. Hey, Carla. Wait. Test, test. Oh, are you muted or can I not hear you? Let me see. Let me try to unmute you so I can see if I can hear you. No. But you can hear me. So I assume that I would be able to hear you. Okay. Couple more minutes. We'll see. Maybe there's something wrong with that mic because I can normally unmute you, you know, if it was just a mute, but it doesn't seem possible from my end. But that's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Hey, Rosa.
Hi, Mark. Hi.
Good to see you.
Hi, everybody. How are you, Carla? I haven't seen you for a few days. Good, good.
All right, I've got 6 o'clock. Let's see. So, hope you've had a chance to loosen up and prepare. We're doing core. Everything's on the floor again.
Okay.
Let me get the timer set up. I don't think we'll need 15. Let me take it down to 10. I've got some exercises in that we've used recently and then changed it up, and yeah, we should know all the exercises. We're going to start with that one where we do where we're in the already crunch position, and then we're just going to try to crunch further. So it was, so we're going to go into our toes. And I didn't really mention the reason that we're doing that is you should feel how your hamstrings start to activate this way. And when your hamstrings are active, then your hips are not. The hamstrings and the hips are kind of like the biceps and triceps. So when we flex the bicep, the tricep is usually not flexed. And so we want to keep the hips out of the core work. That's why we're doing this, the toes up. After this, and then we're going to go into the crunch position so your shoulders are off the floor. See, I've been holding it like this now for a while, so holding that crunch position shouldn't be super challenging. It activates the core, but it's not doing too much. What we're going to do though is we're going to expand on that crunch. That's where it starts to get challenging real fast. So we want to go into this position, and we're just going to crunch further. That takes it to a whole nother level. So, and then we don't want to go necessarily to the floor unless we absolutely have to. Otherwise, just try to go back down to the crunch position. All right, I got 5 seconds on the timer, and we'll get started. We'll go in 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. So we're just gonna crunch, 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 crunch. Try going onto your toes. It's going to make the, there you go. Now you guys have probably already learned to not use your hips as much. This is just one way to make sure that they're out of the game. I've got 12, 11, 10 more seconds. Good, we're 3, 2, 1, and relax. We're gonna do it again now. All right, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. Yeah, it's one thing to be in the crunch. It's another to go beyond the crunch, right? That should be a good burn. 15 more seconds. Five more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. All right, so we're going to expand on that now. And what we're going to do is we're going to do an alternate knee raise as we're crunching. So we're going to go back into the toes up, heels up position. And then as we crunch forward, we're going to lift alternating knees. But we're going to stay in the crunch position as long as we can. If you need to rest, then absolutely rest. Breathe, get back into it. It's a very small move, but very effective. We'll go 5 seconds. In 4, 3, 2, 1, and almost there. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and pause. All right, so as if that wasn't enough, we're gonna do a double leg lift now. So what we're gonna do is go back into that position, go into your crunch, and now we're gonna lift both legs up off the floor and crunch at the same time. So like I said, very small. Just like that. All right, we'll go in 5, 4 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. So 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. We're gonna do it again. We're just about ready to leave those crunches behind. In 3, 2, 1, and begin. Let's do it one more time. Ugh. 15 more seconds. 10, 9, 8 seconds. We're at 3, 2, 1, and all right. So we're not gonna go in, we're not gonna stay in that crunch position now. We're gonna do some dead bugs. I know you both know dead bugs. Alternate arm, leg, right? Let that straight out, and we're gonna bring it back up, nice and slow. Not about speed or repetitions or anything. Control. All right. We'll go 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. Nice and slow. Good. All right, that's our 5 second knock. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Good. We'll do that one more time. 5 seconds. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, and let's do it. So keep breathing. Find your breathing rhythm. Should be nice and calm. Five seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and awesome. That was our 2. No, it was 1, right? We have one more. That was 2. That was 2. Did we miss one? Did we not do? Did we do 2 double knees? We only did 1 alternating. 1 alternating. Okay, so let's do that one before we move on. All right, sorry. So let me know if I forget something like that, because we want to come back to it sooner than later. All right, so let's go back to the alternate knee raise crunch. All right, we'll go 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and all right, so toes up, heels up, and in a crunch position, and 7 seconds. 4, 2, 1, and relax. All right, so we're done with that. And we're done with our dead bugs. That means we are going to our one leg crossover. So when we do the one leg is up, the opposite leg is down and extended. And then we're going to put one arm off to the side. You actually can go onto that for support. And we're going to go over and we want to reach up towards it. So that shoulder has to come, you have to bring that upper body up high enough so that shoulder comes up off the ground. This doesn't have to go way up here, obviously, but if you can, I seem to go right about there. That's my crunch point. We're just gonna do one side for one round. Let's start at 5 seconds. In 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. So we're gonna reach over and back down. I am leaning on the elbow that's on the floor over here. Hey, Elena.
Hey, Mark.
We're doing some one-legged crossover crunches. We're gonna do the opposite side here. 10 more seconds. So this is one leg is up, opposite leg is straight, and we're crossing over. And pause. So we're gonna do the opposite side. So opposite arm out to the side. We'll go 3, 2, 1, and together. So we're gonna cross over, back down. Get that full extension. I like doing core exercises that stretch out your abdominal wall. Good, we're 20 seconds. Almost there. I got 7, 6, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. So I have this one twice. So we're gonna go back to the other side again. Extend. Other arm is out on the floor, and begin. All right, 15 seconds. We're at 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Last switch on these. So one arm is supported, down off to the side. We'll go 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. We'll take the other one. Nice big extension. 20 seconds. We got 12, 11, 10 more seconds. We're at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. All right. So if you need anything to do your sit-up, you can grab that. We're going to do the sit-up with a reach. And so I would just go, up and make sure you get up nice and straight in your reach, and then just take it back down, up and back down, up. All right. We'll go 5 seconds, 2 rounds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. So we'll go up and down, up, down, up, up. So try to push the chest forward as you get into your extension. By doing that, we're activating the back muscles also. "15 seconds. With 9, 8, 7 seconds, a little bit higher, Yelena. There you go. 3, 2, 1, and pause. Good. And sometimes it can be your legs. Like if your legs are too high, it's not going to allow you to sit upright. And again, we'll do it again though. So lower it a little bit, and that should allow you enough space to get nice and high in your sit up. All right. Good. Good. Awesome, Carla. We got him back in there. You got 12, 11. Have you been doing full sit-ups again for long? Oh, I can't. I forgot. 3, 2, 1, and maybe you can type it later. All right, so that was our 2 sit-up with a reach. So you know which one I may like to do. We'll do the rolls. So the rolls, the progression would be holding on to your legs. Obviously, we want to round out your back too, because if your back is flat like a square rolls, well, you're going to roll about as well as a square. So we want to try to round that back out as much as you can, so that you can roll back and then forward. The next progression would be to let go, not use your hands in your roll. Obviously, keeping your legs in tight is going to be easier than extending them. So if you bring them in and then let it out, that would be the next progression. And then after that, we would try to go down and up and not touch, or at least, put that effort in trying to stop, because it's really in the stop than the not touching that's we're getting more core work. We'll go 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. So we're going to roll and then up as high as you can, with your legs out. If you're doing it that way. You can let go, Rosa. I know. You can let go. There you go. Good. Good. All right. We're getting there. Ten more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, one more time. We'll go 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's do it again. And up. Good. Don't forget to bring your knees in. By bringing your knees in, you're giving yourself more momentum in the forward. Push those knees out again. So bring the knees in and then extend them out. So bring in and then extend them out again. It's going to help in your up, right? And pause. You want to give it another try? So if you were to not bring your knees in, let's see. If I'm just trying to roll like that, it'll work. I can get it to work. But if I put those knees in and take it back out, then I'm getting a driving force to make it a little bit easier. All right, so what do we have next? Stationary bicycles. So we did these. We did regular bicycles last time. I wanted to add these in. This is the one where we're going to stay wide, right? And then we're going to plant your feet, whether you go heels or toes or flat-footed. I really don't mind. Or if you want to bring it up, either way, I just don't want any movement in your lower body. And we're just going to go side to side. So I'm not bringing my head to the floor and then lifting and then head to the floor and lifting. I'm going from one to the other, one to the other. So again, my shoulders are up off the floor the entire time. That is hard. At some point, you're going to need to breathe too, probably. so do it as long as you can, as long as your abs are going to let you, and then go down. You know, get your breath, shake it out, and then come up and do it again. But try not to drop your head down, up, drop your head down, up. We're going to try to keep that motion going side to side. We'll go 5 seconds. In 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. I'm going to go 1. So one elbow is touching the ground. The other one is reaching. Opposite side. Touch the ground. Fifteen more seconds. We got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. All right, we're going to do it again. Round 18. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Up, crunch, and then we're going to go side to side, side to side. Good. I'm sure you guys are feeling it, huh? Yeah. We got 17, 16, 15 seconds. We're at 7, 6, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Awesome. So after this, we're going into the heel tap hip over. So this is a lead into the reverse crunch. This would be the exercise that you may have done before you began doing reverse crunches. And what it is, we're going to tap those heels, no movement in your upper body, and then we're just going to roll your hips in. I want to really have to get those hips up because we're working your lower abdominals. Our upper abdominals work by curling our spine in this way, and the same goes for the lower abdominals. We have to bring the pelvis up and tilt it in order to work those lower abdominals. The distance your legs are is going to be making more harder or easier. So going more straight leg in your tap is a little bit harder than bringing the knees in. What you might want to consider also is if you go too far, your natural arch in your back may start to develop as you let your legs down again. So if that's a problem, be aware that if you feel that, just bring your feet in again. All right, let's do it 5 seconds. And just try to squeeze your lower abs as you're tilting your pelvis. And begin. So let's go. So I kind of keep the same angle in my legs for the whole exercise. I almost lock them in place. I'm moving from my hips. And my legs are just staying in that same position as I lift. It's just a little bit easier than when we do our reverse crunches and our legs are straight. So we got a little bit of a bend in there. We want to keep that bend. So whichever bend you found, and pause. We're going to do it one more time. Whichever bend you found most helpful for you, just keep it there. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll do it one more time. And so exhaling in the crunch, in the contraction. Inhale back down. Inhale back down. And we take it all the way to the floor to get that full release. So we wouldn't want to hover over the ground and maybe cause the back to have to do some work in this. Because we're really trying to focus on the lower abdominals. Whether you feel them now or not, they are doing the work. And pause. Good. I have 2 more exercises left. So after the heel tap, hip over, I got the sun shining right in my face. We're going to do some reverse crunches. So as best you can, if you have to do support yourself in order to drop your legs low enough to get enough momentum. So on this one, we don't have to take it to the floor. I don't usually recommend that. I just recommend going low enough to get momentum to drive it up again. And we don't want to drive it up towards your head. We want to drive it up towards the ceiling. So about at your hip point is when we want to lift your hips up, right? So we're going to try to go like that. All right. We'll go in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. So we drive up. Drive up. Try to keep those legs straight versus the bent leg that we were doing before. So don't let it to the floor on this one, Rosa, unless you absolutely have to, or you're taking a break. But only let it down like we did on the bench. Only let it down as far as you need to get the momentum to go up again. Good, a little too far, Elena. So lift your legs sooner. Sooner. About hip, no, not so far towards your head. Lift it up towards the ceiling. Sooner, even sooner. Sooner. And pause. Your legs are going up towards your face. So your legs are getting about this height. They're going about that far when we want them to go right there. So we want that lift to be straight up, not in towards you. Right? Okay. All right, let's do this in 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. Let's do it one more time. A little bit better. Still a little too far, though. Still a little too far. They're a little bit too far still. You'll feel the difference. Once we hit that a little bit lower, yeah, you're there. Keep going. Good. There you go. Good. 20 seconds. Does that feel different than the way it was feeling before?
Yes, it does.
Good. We got 7, 6, 5 more seconds left. We got 3, 2, 1, and pause. All right, last exercise. All right, we're going to do flutter kicks. So flutter kicks, a lot of times people will support their bottom, right? So by doing that, what they're actually doing is supporting their lower back. Because when you lift your legs out like this, you're almost reinforcing the idea that this needs to be curved. And this is okay. What I would try to suggest, or what I would suggest to try, while as possible, is if you go into your crunch up here, what's going to happen is that's going to straighten your spine down here, because they can't both be curved. So if we get the curve up here, now the thing is, this is going to be working as this is going to be working, right? So we have both sides of your abdominal wall working at the same time, but by lifting, like I said, you should be almost laying on your lower back while keeping your head down. You're all the weight is kind of like on your butt, and then you have to support your lower back. So give it a try. Try to crunch forward. I know this is the last exercise. This is the finisher. 4. So if you can, lift your head up and do your flutter kicks. Begin. And then as soon as you cannot hold it anymore, or you need to take a breath or whatever, as soon as you go down with your head, then you can kind of put your hands down there and support yourself again, or find a higher position where your back is flat. Seventeen, 16, 15 seconds. We got 10 more seconds. Nice and straight leg, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. What happens when we're going into our flutter kick and we start to get tired, right? So the straight leg is working the hips, right? The hips are doing a lot of the work. If we start to bend the leg, you'll feel that your hips aren't doing the work anymore. What happens is it becomes like a quad exercise almost. Not too much. I mean, it wouldn't even be a good exercise that I would recommend doing. but instead of the hips, we're actually working the quads. So try to keep those legs nice and straight. Between the sun and my light, I'm going blind here today. 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go one more time. There you go. Pointing your toes will help to keep the leg straight. And then think of the movement coming out of the hip, not the leg. This is the last round. 20 more seconds. Ten more seconds. Got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, some cobra type stretches would be good for today. All the lower ab type exercises where we do the leg lifting, those all kind of work right there in those hip flexors. And when those get tight, it can be hard to walk. Like it happened to me once. I actually couldn't stand up. They were stuck like this. They were shortened, and I couldn't fully extend them. So, but that was like my first week of exercising again. Not this time, recent time, but before. All right. Well, good core workout. I hope you felt it was effective. We got, I noticed not many are signed up for tomorrow. We've got 3, I think, for cardio lower tomorrow. Should be good though. Um, Everything's good with the diet. Diet is good. So get those Friday wins. If you haven't, I like to see that, you know, some good stuff happened. The last week should already be available. You can check that out. Yeah, let's just make that final week as good as we can, and then towards the end of the week we'll go through the measurement list again. You know, and we'll check those. Huh? Rosa. As long as you can, you don't always have to get great results, but as long as you can say why you didn't get them, that's okay, right? What's bad is if you think you did great, but you're just not seeing it. That is much worse. But if you can say, I really blew my diet or something, then okay, then we can use that as a learning experience moving forward. Why did you blow your diet? You know, what happened? Was it stress? Was it cravings? What was it? When was it? Like, you know, did it happen on Wednesdays? Wednesdays always seem to be the day, or Saturdays, the weekend, you know, not being prepped for the weekend. So just identifying why something happened so that you can adjust it and then be mindful next time to try to avoid it. That I think that's, you know, as long as we can learn from it, it's wisdom, right? As long as we can learn, it's wisdom. Otherwise, it's so just try to look for what happened if you can find it, and then see if the next time you're able to correct it. Less than a minute. If you're coming tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you. Otherwise, have a great weekend. And yeah, that's all. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye.